started back in May in Japan, and we've been through Japan, and then we went to Russia for about a month. Then we came through Europe and England. Now we're on our way to Ireland, and we're going to finish this leg of the tour in Tel Aviv.
We always have a good time in London. London's a great place. It really is a good place. And Manchester as well. No, it's good. You know, it seems to have been getting better and better and better. Every time we come back, everything seems to just get better, more and more people and stuff, and it's just great. And me being English, being back in England that's a special treat for me. It's really good. Everything's going really well.
Well, it's actually advertised as an evening with Dio, the Holy Diver, you know, that we were going to play Holy Diver. And then, then again, you know, after playing for 2 hours, you know, there's so many songs that we wish that we had time to do, you know, but we'll do it when we come back next time around.
The gig was really cool, great crowd, and a lot of fun. It's always a stress thing when you've got, you know, a big city like London, New York, wherever, you know, LA, and because you've got all your friends want to come down and you want to see them, but it's just nuts, you know, and everything's kind of rush, no sound check, just get on stage and let it rock, you know.
You tend to be competing against yourself, and that's a lot of times it's harder.
And for me, it was a little more because I kind of filled in at the last minute on this tour, and so I'm just getting up to speed, you know. But and actually playing through the other guitar player's rig. I didn't even get to bring my rig, but I carried a guitar and brought a couple more and some pedals, and we've just been having fun, and it was really a good night.
When we went to Russia, that was great. I mean, that was just something else. It was, I think a lot of people have a preconceived, conception of how Russia is, but it's totally different. I mean, they think it's cold and dark and snowing and all the people are miserable. It's totally the opposite. They've become so close as people because of what they went through.
The Western world has embraced other forms of music. They've embraced techno, they've embraced punk music, they've embraced not a lot of what bands like we do, because they have other options. People in Eastern Bloc countries, Romania, Czechoslovakia, Bulgaria, Hungary, Russia, are just so adamant about the music that they were not allowed to have for such a long period of time, that for them it was a crime to have an album. If you had a rock album, it was a crime. You'd go to prison for that one. They said, you know, screw you, pal. This is what we love and this is what we want. Now that it's opened up, they're going, heaven has arrived. We are now seeing the bands that we could only listen to, you know, on a wireless or in our rooms hiding somewhere. And so that attitude is there from the way it used to be here 20 years ago.
It was almost like we were sort of blazing a trail, because there'd only been a couple of other American acts that had gone through there, or international acts, I don't know what you want to call them, but you know, it was almost like we were blazing a new trail through this whole country. We went everywhere for a month, and it's a real highlight.
All in all, you know, we're just doing it for the fans. Everybody has their favorite songs, and if you ask each guy in the band to put together their own list, it's going to be a little bit different. But this list was for the fans, strictly for the fans that have been supporting Dio from day one.
Ours hasn't changed. Ours is the same rabid, heavy metal, rock and roll people that they've always been. It's amazing. They're just the same. They're just so loud and into it. It's never changed for us because we haven't changed. That's what our audiences admire about us, I think.
You know, sometimes we go online and we get the fans' response, and a lot of times, you know, the fans do a little poll, you know, the Dio message board, and they post songs that they would like us to play when we go back on tour. And we do listen to that, and we do pay attention to that. And hopefully we'll be able to please everybody.
Get that thumb done, pal. Just that thumb doesn't come out. That's Hawaiian, you see. That's Hawaiian. That means I love you in Hawaiian. I love in Hawaiian. That's Italian. That's a Malay. That's what that is.
So where did it come from then?
Protection. It's an evil eye, pal. I can give you the evil eye. That came from me, from my grandmother.
Tell me the story.
It wasn't really much of a story. Just a little kid walking down the street, and my grandmother would see somebody walking by who she thought was giving me the evil eye, so she'd chuck up the maloik. And just something I remembered all my life, you know, being part of the culture I grew up in. It just became something that I became identified with because I did it so much. So I've gotten credit for inventing it, which I didn't do. And it's amazing to me, just absolutely amazing. And I've kind of, in some way, been responsible for this signal that has become part of certainly heavy rock and roll. But you can see it in a Britney Spears concert too.
Steve Mignardi, Ajax, Ontario, Canada. Ronnie's assistant is what I do with the band. I tape Cups black.
Yeah, we like all bands too. We look everywhere.
I've been with Ronnie now for about 3 years. Love every single minute of it. It's a pleasure to work for such a guy that I've known for 25 years. Been a friend for a long time. And finally get to work with, I know he doesn't like this term, but a living legend. The guy's fantastic. I love him to death. Love the whole band.
How come you worked with him for 25 years now? How did you start?
Actually, I met him on a Heaven and Hell tour. I haven't worked for 25 years. I met him on the Heaven and Hell tour at Black Sabbath in Toronto, and just been pals ever since.
So you've got all the cups blacked out.
Just 4.
Do you want to explain this or something?
Well, you know, it doesn't, because they go on the drum riser. So I can have something to drink. And so if you look from the stage perspective, you get a plastic cup of beer. Instead, you get black. No one really knows what's in it. I mean, at least it blends in with the background. I don't care if they know what I drink, but
And I like
it blends in with the background. Me likes it.
So you actually can't see the cups on the
And one is a spit cup, too.
We found them. The official deal, black plastic Dixie cups or Solon cups.
We're all here because we love to work for Ronnie, and it's just a wonderful organization, and the music is great as well. Yeah. And you know, you were playing here, and it's a kind of a smelly hole, but it's a legendary place, and it's a rock and roll arena, so it's going to be really good.
And we pulled it off.
Tonight.
It's going to look huge.
Yeah,
really
it's going to be great tonight.
Over here, as compared to North America, the people seem to rock on a lot more, and it's just great.
I think a lot of us who work for Ronnie are fans first and foremost, and you know, even every night we look up and say, you know, we're watching the entire album being done every single night, and we feel very lucky to see it. You know, I'm sure there's a lot of people who'd like to be in our shoes seeing it every night.
To be mixing it,
yeah,
for me, it's
great.
It's the greatest. You know, mixing all of it.
Ronnie sounding great. The band sounding good. Great.
Been a great 2 months, but I think everybody, especially the band, deserves a few weeks off before we start the next leg of this thing.
And having played all of the songs for Holy Diver, man, what a great set. You know, people, you know, we're actually playing for over 2 hours, but it just goes by so fast. It's great, very enjoyable.
They're great fans. They really are.
It's a fantastic band. It's always been a fantastic band, but right now there's something that's just clicking, you know, and we're like a train, you know, and we're going ahead, and everything is just brilliant. It's so good. Everything's really good.
I mean, it's always a pleasure going on stage with, you know, with Ronnie and, you know, all the guys, Simon and Scott and Doug, you know, it's always fantastic.
So yeah, it was great. The crowd was great, and I had some lovely friends that came to support me, and now we're gonna go party.
And, you know, as far as bad things about the other members of the band, yeah, there is one thing. No, it's all right.